What is happening, people? Welcome back to Scarfy Spurs Talk following that 1-0 defeat against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, Tottenham's fourth loss of the season out of 9 games played so far. I thought I'd do a video previewing our next 6 games, how many points we're going to get, because I think it's massive. Next few days, next few games for Ange Postecoglou and our season in general, what exactly is achievable and how it will shape up is determined from now until the international break, the next one. So do stay tuned to the very end. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It's free to do so. It does help the channel grow. If you like what you're seeing, smash the like button and turn the notifications bell on for Tottenham, England and Premier League content. But let's crack straight into it, because that Crystal Palace game was really disappointing. I think whatever way you look at it, it's not what we wanted. Ange talked about it. Vicario talked about it after the game, about us, lacking that fight, if you like. And we were never in the game, which sounds strange against Crystal Palace. We went into that game as favourites as well. We never looked like scoring, and we probably, if I'm being totally honest with you, should have lost by more. But some worrying stats before we preview the game. This calendar year, Spurs have only won 3 games on the road in the Premier League. So, under Ange Postecoglou, and I know it's been the same under previous managers, but Ange is the manager now. We've got an issue on the road, in particular in the Premier League. We've lost 4 games, as I said in the intro, in our first 9 league games. This is our worst league start, start to a season, in 20 years. 16 defeats now in 37 games. We're about 25% of the way through the season. We're 10 points off the top of the league and 9 points away from the relegation zone. We're only 2 points above Manchester United. Ten Hag has just been sacked following Manchester United's start to the season. And he won 2 trophies with them as well. I'm not saying that was necessarily the wrong or right decision, but that's what they've done. So surely that only adds pressure on Ange. And West Ham as well. All their critics of their start to the season in June and Locatelli, they're only 2 points behind us. Nuno's record at Spurs, he played 10 games at this stage of the season, won 5, we drew none and lost 5. So that's a 50% win record. Ange's Premier League record so far this season, we've played 9, we've only won 4, and we've drawn 1 and lost 4. That's a 44% win ratio. So just then add some stats there. I'm not saying that it's all doom and gloom, but I don't think maybe it's as rosy as fans would like to maybe paint it. And we've lost this game to Crystal Palace, and it's the 4th loss of the season. We weren't expected to do so. Losing is one thing, but it's the manner as well, without any fight. And again, the same type of goal conceded that for me is a real issue. But previewing the first game, Manchester City, this is a massive one, in the Carabao Cup round of 16, Wednesday night. Pep couldn't be clearer ahead of this game. He's going to take the academy to this game, take the academy to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, whether it be the academy or the second team, whether he's, being clever. I think he's going to rest several players, such as Haaland, such as Gundogan, whoever it may be, Edison. I think that they'll all be rested in this game. Bernardo Silva, I think, also will be rested. I still think they'll play some players like Foden, maybe Savinha, that haven't played a lot this year, maybe players like Rico Lewis. I don't quite know what it will look like, but this for me couldn't be a better opportunity. The reality is, and whether you like it or not, we haven't won a major trophy in 16 years. That's an awful long time for a club like Spurs, and we have to end that. That has to be the priority this season over top 4. In an ideal world, you get both. I don't think we've got the squad depth for that, to be honest with you. So it has to be a trophy. This is the quickest, easiest route to do that. And I know we face the champions, and whether it be their academy, whether it be their second team, first team, it's going to be hard. But we have to go all guns blazing in this game. It has to be the strongest lineup that we've got possible. Whatever Ange deems as his strongest 11 has to start that game for me. But I think Man City will not quite play their academy. I think they play a second team, but sadly, I think we lose this game. I think Manchester City win 3-1. I don't think we get the reaction that's needed. So that's the loss 2 in a row. And we move on to, some would argue, a big game as well. At the weekend at home against Aston Villa. It's a Sunday 2 p.m. kickoff live on Sky Sports. Let's be clear. I don't think we can afford to lose either of these games this week. If we lose to Manchester City, that decreases our chance of winning a trophy this season. It relies on Europe, the new format, more games, with tough games against Galatasaray and Roma coming up, which we'll get to. We're going to predict them. If you're staying for that, just to keep staying tuned. So we can't afford to lose this. Aston Villa, in good form. They started the season well. Obviously, the latest result at the time of recording was their draw against Bournemouth. It was disappointing, but they just look positive, and there's a real buzz about Villa Park to be back around with the biggest teams. Unai Emery, that transformation is amazing when he took over just more than 2 years ago in 17th place. Now back among Europe's best, competing and up there, striving for the very best. So I think this game will be hard. I think we'll battle. It's at home. I think we're going to really push hard. But I do fancy Aston Villa and their attacking talent. So I'm going to go with 3-2 Aston Villa. That means I think we're going to lose 3 games in a row, including that Crystal Palace game. I said we can't afford to lose either of these games. I think that will mount pressure on Ange Postecoglou. And at the moment, the time of recording, I think his job is safe. I don't think anyone, I think every Premier League manager or every manager world football, in particular the Premier League, is under pressure. But if we I think lose one, but let's say we lose both these games, I think Ange's got a problem on his hands. Even if we lose Wednesday, we've got a problem. And that takes us to Thursday night, where we've got Galatasaray away. I think that's our first big test in the Europa League. Probably the biggest side in Turkey, maybe Fenerbahce of Mourinho. I would probably argue Galatasaray are. So this won't be easy. Away from home, I think it's a hostile place to go to. I think that we won't get the win away from home, of course. And we've obviously won all our games up until now, but I'm going to go with a draw 1-1, which leaves us winless in 4. Next game, the 4th or 5th, I think we're on to now, and it's a Sunday at home to Ipswich Town. Ipswich haven't started the season very well, and I think they're going to have a real problem away from home on the road, and I think their defensive problems will continue. So I do think we'll win this game 3-0. So I do think we'll get the win. Don't worry, it's not all losses. I think we'll win that. So as you can see there's a lot of games there. I don't think the strongest 11 can be played in every single game. So if I had to choose, for me, I'd go all guns blazing against Manchester City, and in Manchester City in particular be my priority. I'd probably go strong against Aston Villa. Galatasaray, I'd probably go strong with players like Dragisin, Gray. Ipswich, I think you can get away with making rotation. But then the following Saturday, we had Man City in the League Cup. Now we got them in the league at the Etihad. It's a Saturday 5:30 kickoff. I think it's going to be tough. I'm going to go with 2-0 to Manchester City. I think obviously the stronger team. I think they're beat us twice in the space of a month, less than a month. And then it's Roma at home to complete these 6 games on Thursday. Let's complete the November game, should I say? Yeah, it's a Thursday at home, and I think this one will be tough. I think Roma pose a problem, but I do think we win this game 2-1. So to summarise my predictions, I think we're going to lose and get knocked out against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. I think we're going to lose to Aston Villa and probably fall into the bottom half. I think we get a draw at Galatasaray. I think we beat Ipswich comfortably 3-4-0. I think we'll lose to Manchester City, and I think we beat Roma. So that's so we've lost obviously to Palace. So from that, I'm going a loss, a draw, a win, a loss, a win. So really mixed form. And on that, Ange Postecoglou will be under a lot of pressure. But we've got to really decide, where do we play the strongest team possible? I mean, top 4 will be great, top 5, top 6, whatever's achievable now, I think it's going to be hard. I think we have to focus on focus on the domestic competitions, getting the job done. Maybe the Europa League, because if you win the Europa League, obviously a massive if with Tottenham and just in general with a new format. I know it's more games, but and you've got your strongest teams are Manchester United, whoever their new manager will be, Eric Ten Hag has been sacked, if you don't know already. Roma, Galatasaray, you're both playing them in a couple of days, a few weeks' time. So there are tough teams in it, but I think that's our best way to do it, because you win that, you automatically qualify the Champions League. It's kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, if you like, with the Carabao Cup. If we can somehow get past the champions, who Pep said doesn't want to waste any energy on it, it's going to bring the academy, going to bring the kids, going to bring the second team, is that the easiest way forward? So I'm really interested to hear your prediction in the comments below and where we go strongest, what we prioritise. And don't get me wrong, the run continues. The run really continues. 2-3 games in 7 days going into December continue. By the way, after that Ipswich game, there is an international break. There is City and Roma. My bad for not saying, but still makes it really, really tough. So maybe that City-Roma game can both play the strongest 11. If you like this video and you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash that like button, turn the notifications bell on, also smash that subscribe button, and do get involved in the comments below. But for now, a massive come on you Spurs.